What's up guys, it's Raccoon back with another video, and in this video I'm going to be talking about a combination of the Behringer C1 and a mixer, and we're going to be taking a look at the different things that you can do with a mixer with the Behringer C1. The reason I'm doing this video is because, when I was doing the Behringer C1 review, I did mention that this microphone would be great paired up with a mixer because of how flat its frequency response is, so you can pretty much tweak the sound to any sound you want. And so the mixer I have here is my brother's mixer, and it's the Behringer Q802 mixer. This mixer can be picked up brand new off DJ City for about $100 or about 95, and used you can actually pick it up for around 50, so very good there. The one thing that I dislike about this mixer though is that compared to its newer brother, the USB version of it, it doesn't have compression like the USB one does. And so I won't really be able to test out compression, but I will give you an example by putting software compression on to give you an idea of how it would sound with the Behringer Q802 USB. I ended up putting compression on the whole video, so if you want to see just the raw C1 sound, have a look at the review. This is just your normal Q802 mixer. And what it has is 3-band EQ. So you've got your high, your mids, and your lows. And as you probably know, that I mentioned about this microphone, that this microphone doesn't have that much warmth to the sound. And I personally like a nice warm sound. So what you can do with the Behringer Q802 is just turn up the low end. Alright, so now I've turned up the low end on the Q802, and as you can tell, it already has made the sound a lot better. You can also turn up the high band EQ, and the mids of course as well, but if you turn up the mid a lot, then it starts to sound really bad, but if you turn up the high a little bit more, you can get a bit more clarity out of the sound. So now I've got the high and the low turned up a little bit, and this is kind of the optimal sound. This is quite good in my opinion. I like the sound like this, but usually what I do is just leave the high on the medium setting and the mids on the medium setting, and then just turn up the lows a bit. Paired with a mixer, this Behringer C1 is actually really good and even better than it was before. And before, it was already an amazing microphone, but paired up with a mixer, it is literally the perfect combo. And this is why I absolutely love this microphone so much. You can do so much with a really quite cheap $70 condenser microphone. Actually, I think now you can pick it up for $60 on DJ City. I have it on a cheaper price compared to when I bought it. So it's an absolute bargain. So paired up with a mixer, it's very good. And also, using a mixer, you can do a lot of other things like plugging in different sets of speakers into the one mixer, which is what I've got. I've got my headphones hooked up, and then the speakers that are near me right here. So I can just, turn up the speakers whenever I want and so on. And it's just such a great combo. And the great thing about these mixers as well is that they have 2 XLRs, so you can plug into microphones. So sometimes if I want to use the Rode NT-G2 and still have this one plugged in here, then I actually made myself a really long XLR cable so I can use it on the other side of the room and use it for filming and stuff. So it works really well together. You might be wondering, what would I recommend more, an audio interface or a mixer? Well, this really depends on your use case. If you want something that's simple and more plug and play, then obviously the audio interface is going to be the best option. Also, an audio interface is cheaper unless you're buying used. And of course it depends on what audio interface and mixer you're getting. But then if you want something that you can change the sound around, plug in a couple of microphones, plug in an audio source, plug in a couple of speakers, then obviously the mixer is the way to go. There's so much more flexibility with what you can do there, and I really like that about having a mixer. And I don't think I'll be going back to just an audio interface setup for my main setup here, just because I love how much customizability you have with a mixer. You can do so many different things. So for me, it makes sense to use a mixer because I need a second XLR port, and this one does have one and my audio interface doesn't. But of course you can get audio interfaces that have 2 XLR ports and that'll be fine. But just for me, a mixer is the way to go because you have so much more customizability in terms of sound, in terms of what you can plug in. So hopefully this video showed you what you can do with the Behringer C1, and I absolutely love this microphone. It's the best microphone I've used, and it's still going to be my best budget microphone, and that's probably going to stay that way for quite a while. So if you did enjoy this video, drop a like on the video. If you didn't, drop a dislike on the video. Remember to subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.